Clean.
Well,
yeah, that would have worked a whole lot better, wouldn't it?
It's okay. We'll be there all week.
Cloud9 might have a nice clean pistol round, considering the fact that Floppy's all alone at this B bomb site. All 5 players for Cloud9 huddling around the double doors. Looks like Shiro might investigate Cave a little bit late, but 3 players coming up the ramp, and it's retake.
They're going to get the plant here. What I'm questioning is...
okay.
What I'm questioning still is how they play the post plant, because they have no real estate, no space. And if Shiro lets EliGE slip, now Uncle Hobnob is in an awful lot of trouble. Shiro's timing perfect.
EliGE with the pause. I think he's waiting for action to take attention away from him, and that was his undoing. And now it gets really hard, really difficult. Electronic with the double kill. That's pretty much the pistol round over. Not even close to the defuse. Floppy's going to back away. So get through the smoke, and that's all you get.
To be fair, if you assume the CTs won't have a smoke to play with, or would use the smoke for the bomb plant, then that cave position is actually very strong with Glocks. Like, it's a whole lot of close quarter combat. You can have Electronic sliding over the pillar, left, right, that's what happened. But I agree, EliGE's timing could have definitely changed the destiny of this round. Can you imagine if Hobbit had been found by EliGE after having this screamer of a first map? Very complicated. Here, punished in the timing, could have just been the end.
He would have been so mad at Shiro.
That is a very unfortunate timing against Mr. EliGE here. So, and that round I was questioning what the post plant was going to look like, but the fact that that gets removed, they're no longer boxed in, and they don't have to worry about all these different avenues of assault for Complexity's retake.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There is a cough button for a reason.
There is a cough
Maybe
button.
next time I'll use it.
2 MAC-10s.
And a swag 7.
And a swag 7. hallzerk wants that alt money.
Not aggressive Cave either, allowing them into stage 2.
You want them. You'd want them to be a little bit adventurous with what's happening here. Oh, that Molotov is going to clean him out of the area. He's getting found, a little bit damage being done. Only 19. I thought he'd give more on the table on that one. And Cloud9 is not changing their plans. They're very much set on taking that map control towards B, with 3 CDs waiting for them, and the smoke must slow them down.
Yeah, nice timing on it, but there's so much time left to be patient. That's nasty. All right, JD's opened up with a couple of nice headshots. Deagle is going to send Shiro packing, but they're still convinced, and they're still constricting this B bomb site. They still want to end here.
Short smoke in, pressure now. hallzerk, that swag 7, standing at attention, tucking in towards the cubby. Playing wood, and there you go. The first found, the second beautiful. The bomb down, and more kills coming hallzerk's way. Can he connect the dots? No. Perfecto will lay him to rest.
I think he wanted a little too much there. I think he wanted a little too much. Could have just picked up a gun and got into Cave, and now it's going to get worse because Floppy goes down, and Grimm's flank is coming in hot, but it's not anytime soon. They line up, and EliGE has passed over the information to Grimm. Plenty of time, even without a kit. Exile, you have so many choke points to worry about. Convinced on Cave, and he's just going to hold it and say, I live and die by it, and Grimm comes from behind.
The damage from EliGE is why Grimm is in such a good position. It's 180 damage with the FAMAS right there. The double swing from Exile and Perfecto almost allowing him the double.
That's a give back for the lineup on Anubis.
And so much money.
Yeah, hallzerk can now purchase himself a bit of an AWP if he would like. I'm not sure how advised it would be going up against the lighter purchase of Cloud9, but he munched away with the Mag 7.
Open question to the group. We saw Complexity with the smoke in front of Cave, allowing for that little bit of a boost to happen, and JT was waiting with the Deagle. How much of that is a bait that is supposed to trigger a boost from Cloud9, and how much of that is a reaction from JT?
I didn't see if he was pre-aiming it. I don't think you can ever count on the boost happening, right?
I don't know. He seemed awfully ready.
It was the only option behind the smoke, right? So I guess preemptive. Whether if they have a good idea that they forced into Cave, right? Then yeah, you're limiting their options. They have to make some decision. I'd hope it's more premeditated. Again, that's a cooler angle.
We'll give them credit.
You got to go through this, I think, as well if you're Cloud9.
Not anymore.
Oh, big win. Hobbit down to 15 HP. Going to get wrapped upon surely, but just being a nuisance in the middle of the map.
He just had to stay alive. His presence would have meant more for Cloud9 than any other thing he could have done at the time. Just being a threat, knowing that the map control is Cloud9's towards mid, and now instead of that, he's been given away the kill, which means that our friend EliGE here is getting a little bit more adventurous towards mid. He's gathering a bit of information, and feels like they're a little bit jailed towards B.
I don't love this B hold though, right? So JT is here worrying about red room slip. That's been possible the entire time. Also has to worry about B ramp. If they just contact up, I know that it's a scout and a Tech 9, but Axel...
Must have seen him.
Perfectly blocked. JT, beautiful work. 2 more scalps removed. And I thought there were going to be problems for the South African in-game leader. No dramas whatsoever. They're going to remove Cloud9 with ease and even grab themselves a couple of upgrades. So a great round. You got back-to-back. hallzerk with a double kill with the Swag 7. JT with a 3-piece feed on the Famous. And Cloud9 now down to a Fico.
This was a map yesterday. JT against 9 had his pop-off moments, right? He was getting double entries into the B bomb side on the T side constantly. So he's feeling comfy here. Feeling comfy on this side of the map. 2-1.
JT and the edge
now,
of smokes.
Guys, I'll just let you know, we have somebody employed for these type of rounds.
Yes, we do. It is a Glock round, aka the most important rounds. That's where I take over, and they just made a lot of noise here. What they did there, they actually weren't going to commit to that. They were just going to bait out a bit of util here. Look at that. That's a few $100s, and that's a couple more, and that's a few more right there. So that's a lot of util wasted. And you see Hobbit here with the bomb, just chilling out. If you don't know where he is, look, this is where he is. He's chilling out here. You don't see him,
look. Free cam work. We don't see this often from Rushley. Normally not allowed, so he's breaking a couple of rules here.
I'm taking over today, and if we get nice and close to him here, we can see that kind of angle that Hobbit's working with. But look, Electronics sneaking up now. The boys coming back over. They're just going to try and run it in B, I guess. Will they go up ramp? Or will they go cave?
Will it be 6 or will it be 8, Rush? That's the question.
6 or 8? That is a good question. You know what? I'm taking this off. That's how confident I am in the CTs here. Looks like it is going cave. Can't show that. Well, maybe I can press a random key.
6 in a minute.
Well, I'll go 6 now. Look.
Here we go. Come on, 6.
And I'm just going to take my hands off.
Let's go 6.
Not much is going to happen here. It's going to mop him up. 2 beautiful kills. And you know what? I will press 8 now. And it looks like 5 and 3. Oh, no health to work.
Just manage your efforts. Don't exhaust yourself.
This. Oh my goodness, just mopped up here.
Floppy's had the most full eco kills in this series out of any player.
Well, at least we've seen them.
Yeah,
all of them.
That is true. Good job, Rush.
Cheers, appreciate it. You guys too. Keep up the good cast going on, you know?
Thanks, Rush.
No worries.
I don't know if he's being sincere there or like, because he started to...
It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, but towards the end there, it started to... He's a bit of a piss take from
I meant it.
He's still there now. I will say very proficient with the 6 and the 8s.
Oh, he knows his numbers.
Oh, thank you.
Don't know it.
He knows his numbers. This is a mid go. They're going aggressive, braving the flames through the fire. Smoke off, flash is good. Donut obscure as well as red. Hobbit with an awful lot of spaces. EliGE and Grim aware of this type of maneuver. Lob out a couple of deep HEs. Axel to try and set up Uncle Hobnob. Molly deep. The flash for good measure. And the space not to be taken. Doesn't want to get creepy and crawly.
I think that smoke coming in might have dissuaded him.
It was his teammate Smoke, though.
Yeah, it was called in. I thought he might go with it and just be a little tricky about things. Headshot angle for Hobbit with that AK. Very dangerous for EliGE. He's basically the sole defender at this bomb site. No one's actually in A. Donut is the closest presence. Oh, the double peek after the smoke clear.
That's beautiful.
Hobbit wrecked.
And Hobbit just lost track of time on that smoke. He could have been aware that this was going to be a danger. The opportunity is seized immediately by Complexity now in a 5 versus 4 situations. Once again, the smokes are being deployed. You still have Floppy firmly planted towards the cave, and then his teammate, this time JT, with the Galil on B. The defense gambling on the right side. It's a 3-1-1 defense right where they got to be.
If there's any utility usage at this B bomb site from Cloud9, JT's moved into cave. He does have a Molotov, so now it gets a quiet engagement. They see 2 in cave. Oh, Electronic just turns. Grim's got an easy one to the side of the head. Now a heads-up challenge, which he wins as well. And Exile was brought low early on. Grim picks that up as well. Triple kill.
It's so commanding from Complexity right now, to the point where I get worried a little bit about the outline of this game so far, because they are exactly having what they want to have in the moments that they need to. You go for a double retake of information towards mid. You catch Hobbit with his pants down as he's rotating out.
Trade,
you send the rotation towards the B side, and then once JT finds the killing cave, you have the double up with Grim, who's then invisible on the left side towards long. He gets 2 kills. It's too easy.
Yeah, and we were critiquing some of the default approaches of Cloud9 on the first map. So if they're unable to get their act together on the T side through standard means, there has to be a lot more direct plays. Then you're hoping and praying on individuals to be able to pip certain gaps. You know, hoping that these, because a mid play on this map, sure, you can throw all the util to facilitate it, but if the CTs decide they want to fight it, or if they want to fight it on a slight like tempo delay, like at a 1.5 with the flashes coming either from A pushing out Donut, it's always a bit of a 50-50.
I'm actually kind of glad JT spotted that because it looked like they wanted to get frisky down ramp against these pistols. That might have been disaster. They gave up a lot of cave presence to do it, and it's dangerous coming back in. The JT handles it pretty well, all things considered. Smoke to delay.
Hobbit's in A. And that's a nice shot. Axel will remove JT. Now, Hobbit has so much space, completely undetected. This has gone down without a single drop of information. Will it at all?
I don't think they rotate out. I don't think they rotate out. I think they allow Hobbit to come in and striking.
I think it's a terrible idea to try and rotate back. Perfecto getting ahead of the flank will give over a kill for free. Now there has to start to become some speculation that Grim didn't have his eyes over towards A the entire time.
It becomes obvious that the time has passed, that there is someone that's already ready to close the door behind you.
This is the only way it works. If Axel can draw the fight with Grim and they lazily run through spawn, not expecting Hobbit, who's starting to activate...
But they have to expect him. You'd have to imagine the map has been open for a while.
Yeah, you have to know it's possible. Do you expect...
I mean, you definitely don't come in running.
He's going to be in.
I'd hate this, though. The thing is, Axel kind of just has to make the play. Hobbit now has given up all the space. This is not going to work at all for Cloud9. They might not even get the plant here. Get in this. Yeah, Axel had to make the noise. And that would have drawn the rotation, and then maybe Hobbit could have done something. Axel too scared to take the space on his own. You were going to lose the round anyway. At least try and get Hobbit into a killing position.
The other potential could have been Perfecto staying, not flirting with the smoke and cave and allowing Hobbit to full flank.
He would have had to. He would have had to. If they had decided from the get-go to not rotate to Hobbit, then what you got to do is just maintain a little bit of presence on the B side to make sure people are focused where they are looking at, and then you allow Hobbit to come and strike him from behind. Because for a while, I do think he had a timing, and then as the seconds were passing by, he became relatively obvious in his position, or at least people were aware of the danger. This is a Cloud9 that's looking a little bit flustered right now in the decision-making, in when they're striking or not, when they decide to do it. This is not the high-level Cloud9 I like to see.
What does this space count for if you do nothing with it? If you don't get red control and you don't pressure Donut, what is this space worth?
Yeah.
So last time they double cleared on the fade of a smoke. This time they're not smoking it. Hobbit has the chance to go for a duel. He's now being held at bay by 2 Molotovs.
I would like a bit more of a punching power into the penetration of mid. If that's what you got to do, if this is your plan, send someone with Hobbit. Accept that there's going to be a trade. You might find EliGE, or EliGE finds Hobbit. There's a trade right behind. Now, what they've done, they've taken map control. They're leaving Hobbit, which again I think is relatively obvious in the sense that he should be around there. Yes. And you strike towards the B side, but it's read by JT.
Yeah, because of their setup, they're in a 3-1-1. So it's not like they're stressed trying to rotate over towards B. They're actually ready for this. So JT on the flash, perfect. This is the type of Counter-Strike that you want to see. This is great stuff from Complexity, great reactions. Hobbit activates now, but it feels too late.
You can't activate now. You cannot activate. You cannot activate the flank after losing the entry. You get, oh my god, the audio bait from hallzerk.
Yeah, well, I don't even, EliGE spots it. EliGE spots it out. Spray is there. JT's got one at the B bomb site again.
Pack it up.
And this is going to be dicey. 4-on-2. Floppies beat the Molotovs as well. He's in front. EliGE is going to come through to provide support if it's needed. And it will be needed. He goes down, but he's brought Perfecto to 8. It would have to be perfection, and it's not going to happen.
This is great Counter-Strike from Complexity. You can only see
excellent from Complexity.
From Cloud9, if you're not going to offer up anything different than a mid-control into a, float across the map and hope you win your duels, you are going to be having a extremely tough T-side, and a timeout has been signaled, has been called, and it is Groove. The man on the mic is, well, Mike takes a big sip.
Yeah, he needs to have a good conversation here, old Groove, because this is looking sloppy. Not really a whole lot of production. You've won the pistol round and nothing since then. Just to add a little bit of stakes, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe I am. This is a match for the playoff.
I do believe you're correct. Yes. I do believe if you win this game, you're guaranteed to be in the playoffs of EPL Season 18.
13th team locked in for the playoffs. We already have 12 over groups A, B, C. I might even be able to name them all. Do you think I can do it?
You want to try?
I don't think I can.
All of the teams? We've had a little bit of a brainstorming about the stories of these teams.
We were talking about it yesterday, right?
Yes,
so
we had a
Na'Vi and Vitality. They're the teams that top their group.
That's 3.
Yeah, then we've got Big, Movistar, and I want to say Astralis. Mauser in there. We have...
Good 7.
We have a bunch.
Fury is over there.
A bunch of teams.
9Z in there.
Mouse, Fnatic.
I've mentioned Mouse already. Fnatic makes 10. So we're 2 more off the pace. Who's another team that is a newer name to the mix?
Did you say Ents? You did say Ents.
I think you said Furia, we said Astralis. Those are all the teams from Group A, with Movistar Riders as well. But
Do a little bit of research.
Yeah,
only missing 2.
You know, but when you try and do 12 teams off the top of your head, there's been an awful lot of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
I'll let myself off.
Oh, damn!
Should we? Well, this is great news, because if the game started late for the VPG2 series, we'd be here till 1 AM again. So the fact that this is looking very likely to be a 2-0, we will only be finishing at 1 AM again. So, you know, it's not too bad.
Could we just take a moment to appreciate JT's performance so far on Ancient?
I'm loving it.
Holy hell.
It's great. He's doing what he... And this is the thing. He plays a position that gets an awful lot of action now. With so much
I don't think
mid
he's
control.
farming easy kills either.
He's had to win out a lot of these half fights, odd fights where he's on his own. Had less eco kills than Floppy, that's for sure. I'm not bashing on Floppy, guys. I just want to, you know, there should be a stat line.
Yeah, we should be able to, like, filter...
Full ecos.
Kills on people
no
with less
armor.
than $2,000 a person or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
1,500
this can be a really complicated situation to be in if you're Cloud9, and I'd love the viewers at home to realize how it feels like if you're Electronic right there. You feel like you're being predicted and countered at every turn. You take mid control, you want to go back to B, you have a 3-stack with a pop flash in your face. You try and poke towards middle, you have 2 players waiting for you. So I think what Cloud9 actually needs right now is 1 player to win a round that isn't supposed to be won. I think you need someone to turn a situation around.
A couple of entry kills.
You need to do something that breaks sort of the normal scenario, the normal script of what Counter-Strike is supposed to be like. Give yourself a little bit of breathing room, and then you can start being a bit proactive, because it's very complicated to be the one tricking your opponent when you're down 1-7. It's almost impossible, because you have to play some sort of a 4D chess where you take the counteract of what is it that you were supposed to do right here, and it's a very complicated exercise to do mentally. Well,
this is an interesting time for that discussion to crop up, Matthew, because TC, the coach of Complexity, has decided to take that timeout. So now expecting the type of change in the approach from Cloud9, TC trying to get ahead of it.
What Cloud9 hasn't tried to do yet is take mid control and then immediately, with numbers, trying to take what I like to call the second zones. So you have mid control, right, and then you could have the donut, right? You could have window, but with a whole lot of people, with bodies, with intention. They haven't done that.
They haven't really messed with donut at all when they've gone mid.
I don't think
they're smoking it off.
Yeah.
One of the very common things in the meta at the moment is once you get the Tetris box control over towards mid, you throw the flash. Once they're blind on the AWP line, you throw the molly off the back wall, you clear out the back of donut, then you only have to clear the hard left or right angles, and you're in. That sounds simple.
It's simple, but it is simple. It's not easy. Here we go.
It's a great way of looking at it. It is simple, it's not easy.
But the reaction of Complexity as well. They're changing things up this time around. They're committed towards mid, but Grim is going to be flashed perfectly. That's an entry kill finally for Hobbit, who's been struggling this whole game.
Look at Exile. Exile looks like he wants to actually challenge. He's saying, you got one in middle. I might be able to find my 1v1 finally at this A bomb site, but Cave is under a lot of pressure as well, and Cloud9's starting to get some production. For the first time in this half, they've got a little bit of pep in their step, a little bit of life.
But it has to be clean, Jason. It has to be clean. When you find yourself in a 5v2 at 7-1 scoreline, you cannot allow Complexity to even just dig at you, or jab at you. You have to win this round.
The bomb's coming back to A.
Disjointed.
Yeah, reload heard. Fortunate. Axar will just shoot EliGE in the back of the head. Electronic onto JT.
That's pretty
have it.
Pretty damn clean.
Need another one of those if you want to break the cache of Complexity, though.
You need 2 more, 2, maybe 3 more. Grim at 12,000 before he buys in this one. He drops over an M4 to EliGE.
Oh, it's not over yet. They're not out of the woods at all.
But this was a difference in approach. It wasn't the all-in mid initially. It was like a second wave. They threw the donut and the red smoke, and then they allowed the CTs to establish some control. And then Hobbit actually had some success. So props to Hobbit.
Yeah,
that was good.
Benefited as well by the fact that that's, I think, the first time we've seen Complexity push all the way down middle.
It's hard, Jason. You've got North America's best team versus North America's favorite orb. So
I started saying Complexity. I was like, is this Complexity? My brain just kind of...
boost for hallzerk. Flashed off the angle. Perfecto is keeping them on their toes just a little bit. Complexity very accepting of giving up on mid. We just have EliGE that's far back to where CT spawn allows the defense to be so strong on B, and this is where Cloud9's attack is mostly located. But this is something a little bit new as well. We haven't really seen mid-round, middle aggression coming in from Cloud9. They've either taken it from the beginning or not at all.
So yeah, with this difference in approach, it is still the same CT setup configuration from Complexity. They're not really watching A, right? They just have the caretaker from Donut. So happy to respond to that site late, and maybe that comes down to the style in which Axar likes to lurk. Regardless, they have the lion's share of their forces over towards B, and that's free real estate that has now just been waltzed on into. So EliGE tucking in towards the side, has been flashed, has been found, was peppered. Why was that not cleared? I guess they didn't hear the shots through the smoke.
They didn't.
He didn't clear it so deep, did he? He glanced in that direction, but didn't look all the way into the cubby. Now, I guess the one saving grace of this B bomb set is the smokes have faded. Now that Cloud9 come in to make their move, a chance for recovery, but JT's caught. It's all hallzerk, misses a shot, time to save.
Money gone. Simple
But
as
Axel
that.
can stay. Why isn't Axel staying in his position? They could make sure that all of these guns are being taken away. I think now is the moment they realize. Hobbit is coming in back as well. Do you go on the hunt? You do it cleverly?
Yeah, you would just slowly constrict space with good communication. You just heard a smoke A main, so Hobbit should be able to stretch his legs and take that. This is where you want your players and your pieces to move exactly as you'd like. Okay, we have this control, stop. Let us take this next space, stop. Now you can take this, because you don't need to be lazy with this. This is the worst time of the game to be, especially now when you're trying to mount a comeback on your T side of your map choice when you're already one map in the bin. So Cloud9 trying to keep things together.
A chance for them to really recover in this half quite well. If I'm Complexity in TC, I'm calling a timeout after this one and just reminding the boys, don't let them back into this. We have them beat.
Hide! Hide! Imagine if when we were saving, we were yelling like that. They're coming! Run! Oh my god! There's two of them!
Dwindling to a 4-round lead.
This is the first time in this game where I feel like Complexity might not have an actual read on what's coming their way. Cloud9 have done enough to sort of reset. It's tabula rasa. They don't know what's happening now. It's wide open. You can have a couple of decisions that
I love this choice, though.
Won't be.
Do we set the tone, or do we allow them to and respond to it again? That's essentially the position Complexity are in.
See Perfecto immediately attempting that entry. We see hallzerk's behind the flame. I don't believe Perfecto has seen him at all. The flash is decent. Not that great, though. Pushes him back to the angle, and the aggression's about to come. Oh! Gets down. See ya!
Big bailout shot there from hallzerk. Fights were coming. Axel now looking for some space over towards A. And as we've mentioned, due to the CT setup, he actually has a lot more space than he realizes, but it's a difficult position to play. How far do you want to overstep the mark? Bomb loose now towards middle. EliGE's been able to grab that. Grim caught between two angles and not caught off guard. Pivots into Axel with the AUG, and Crisis averted. But look at this, EliGE.
Oh, he can get two.
Able to get past the line of sight. A double up available, but can't get either. Complexity up to 8. They've won the half, and they are sitting pretty right now.
The B defense has been great for Complexity this half, but you got to give credit over to Grim and EliGE handling middle, donut, red room. They've done a wonderful job whenever they've been called upon as well. Defense across the board just looking real solid for Complexity. Cloud9, yeah.
I'm sorry, we need to get something on this for the people at home. So production will hear me right now, but people in Twitch chat, they've been asking all day, what's happened with the FACEIT drops throughout the Twitch chat? The people want to know. So if we get an official word on that.
On the FACEIT drops. We can, yeah, well, we can bring that message to the people. Hobbit coming again through the smoke, where he had success previously, this time not available to him.
A little bit of cave work from Cloud9, but I do think the decision's been made more toward the A side. That's where the bomb sits. The flash is not ideal. Green is going to be the good position. Never mind. Axel just white swings him straight to death.
Floppy here in footsteps.
The regress from EliGE. Axel being patient on that. He's going to play out. 4v3 now.
That'll cause a rotation, and that'll cause Cloud9 to just say, well, this is the round we hit donut. This is the round we come right through. They tried it in the last one. We're stopped cold. They know the resistance has been taken out. Nade comes in. JT takes a bit of damage. Has to be ready. Can't transfer over in time. And hallzerk might have a chance if Axel gives him a swing. But he's playing it smart, staying out of the crosshair, and it should be a 4th round for Cloud9 as hallzerk starts backing away. Floppy is not even considering it, finds a kill on the other side of the map and secures the retreat.
It's looking a little better from Cloud9. I think whenever you send Hobbit on these missions, because that's what's happening. Hobbit is being sent on missions towards middle. He's got a couple of utilities for him, 2 smokes, couple of flashes. It's basically, good luck to you, my friend. You're going to have to take map control. If you're going to put him in such a tense position, the rest of the angles of attack, would it be 2 players towards the A side or B, have to find some sort of map control, entry kill, some sort of pressure. There's a give and take that's been here. And Hobbit isn't being given a lot to work with. So the rest of the map has to have the impact. And this is what Axel did here with the first kill towards A side and then waiting patiently, grabbing that rear aggress from EliGE. That's what it's supposed to happen. That swing right there is pristine.
This aggression from Complexity might be the one thing that's bitten him more often than anything. Is the push down middle from Grim where Hobbit gets that opening kill. Now a push towards A main. He's trying to get involved in some of the action, trying to exert a little bit of influence, and being a bit punished time and time again.
And they were better in the first map as well when they were more passive and just rotating and reacting to what Cloud9 were doing on their CT defense. So let's see, Complexity, how many more can you get? You have another purchase, the space taken from Hobbit once more, but this time has some friends and just quietly have been able to waltz their way across.
I think they've started to realize that time and time again, this A defense is not bolstered, is relatively weak, is just one player.
Finally some rhythm.
And that's mixing with some timing, isn't it? Some pace to it, and all of a sudden it's another save for Complexity.
But that's what we were talking about. This is only off the back of a couple of wins that you can actually pick up the pace and you can catch off guard your opponents here. Grim is caught with his pants down, and what Cloud9 had conditioned Complexity to see happening, a couple of smokes towards mid, a couple of steps, immediately turns into an ace play. I like what I've seen from Cloud9. Finally. Damn it.
Yeah, I really like that. Those are good plays for Electronic as well. Those are plays that Electronic likes to make. So once they can get into this bit of a rhythm, it's nice to see them capitalize off the back of it. Now Floppy, JT, and hallzerk hoping to save here. They're still pretty rough around the edges as far as the cash is concerned. And Floppy, was he spotted? Well, hallzerk will be. The AWP lost in the mud. And even Molly that all out of position, so they must have seen Floppy. He's under so much pressure. 25 points of health. Shouldn't be too much longer for this world. Continuing to defend. A defensive smoke as well. The fights will still keep coming, but it looks like he is all good to retain that AK.
Couldn't find the op, though. He was searching for it in the waters. It might have been blown up by a grenade, but he couldn't find it at the end of the day.
Can be hella complicated in the water.
Yeah.
Speaking of with a...
Do you see the C4 in CS2 is the favorite thing that I found in CS2? It floats. Anywhere in water in CS2.
Does it move and float?
Yeah, it moves. It doesn't work with the current. There's no actual current. It'll just float in some direction.
Okay. Is there... Is it following the laws of physics?
No, not at all.
I was going to say...
Not at all.
I was going to say, I think from a density perspective, it shouldn't really be floating.
No, it shouldn't. It should.
Fair enough.
But it's just going to make it always easier for people to find. So like on Overpass, for example, or Inferno in the Fountain, or Ancient is probably the best over towards T-spawn. When the bomb gets dropped, it'll float, and you'll even move within the direction that you've dropped the bomb. So something for you at home to keep an eye on. But Complexity, the shove, they've purchased behind these saved rifles. They've been able to get out one extra. A Mag 7 for hallzerk. Again, he found success already in this half, very early in this half. And Grim down to just a measly little MP9. But we've already been discussing the aggression not working for them. I kind of feel that's their only option in a round like this.
It just came to my attention that we're being very lenient with Shiro's 15 ADR, round 14.
Yeah, well, I picked him as my MVP of the year.
Oh, no.
He had a good first, man.
He did have a really good
on the first map. He was.
Watch him be good now.
Ooh.
Oh, you can't retreat anymore either. A little bit trapped. Shotgun this time, the Mag 7 not working for hallzerk. Floppy feels like he has to get aggressive. Then Complexity's just stuck behind this smoke. And again, it might just be a save. You can't win this round.
Yep, another one that falls extremely flat. But Hobbit's here to punish. His timing. Not ideal, JT.
Very thorough
ready for it.
Yeah, very thorough.
I don't want to give anything up. Grim's going to be able to find himself an upgrade. But I do love that simple approach over towards B. Once you have the AWP boosted on that box, monitoring over towards long, everybody else can kind of waltz up worrying about the pillar, the cubby, short, and ready for those swings. They don't have to worry about long until you're getting towards the off angles of 1 or 2.
These now that Cloud9 is switching to this like more decisive, faster pace to it, and
they're winning.
You guys have been harping on that, but yeah, this has been great. I mean, some of these rounds aren't even contested.
But I know, but it's just obviously when the score is 1-6, 1-7, it looks a little bit foolish. But because of all much conditioning they've put towards the middle, once they start winning rounds, it becomes easier to take the counterpart of what is it that you think your opponent is going to do. And what Complexity finally does here is with a little bit of a limited purchases, a couple of MP9s, they put a whole of X towards the basket in middle. Cloud9 see it coming, they send one player and they have that whole strength towards the B lane. Boom.
But I feel like you have to double down and go for full B lane and mid control again, because a lot of the rounds that they have been losing are now through this pattern of calling that's happened in middle. So Complexity aren't going to go for the fight. They are going to give up this space again if Cloud9 would love to grab it. You can see that Na'Vi divider smoke that has been lobbed forward. It's always interesting to Brave. Hey, they will go B lane. Aggression, flashes, fight. Floppy in the face of Electronic. He has been removed and the opening kill will fall in their favor. The response quite quickly towards A, but hallzerk on the boost. He's got support and they're ready to lock things down. The Dinkin dead as more fights are coming their way. EliGE Doesn't want to brave the fight, doesn't need to, and that might have stalled out Cloud9 for their 7th round.
Yeah, let him burn. EliGE doesn't swing for the fight, so Shiro can't get anything. Back foot again for Cloud9.
Yeah, very well handled from Complexity. The aggression on the B lane is something new, something a little bit more exotic than what they had offered so far, and once they realize they've cleared that out, the defense is temporarily ready for the ace strike. EliGE and hallzerk doubling up. Now, I thought he would have to pull the trigger. Perfecto finds hallzerk. It's 3v4, but a whole lot of information being found. He saw 2 players at the very minimum.
Yeah, look how passive Complexity is on the map, though. This is awkward. Spread thin. 1 player at middle, 2 players at A, 1 player at the B bomb site. Cloud9, despite a man disadvantage, might be in control of this situation and in this round.
Going to play retake, so what if they have to defend their honor as they try and hedge their way back in?
Ooh, don't shoot. Resist the urge.
Molly to delay, so well placed from floppy. That will buy them some time. They can't play behind the pillar. It's buying time for the rotation.
Open
bomb
plant
to be planted front side. This is going to get awkward. 2 on the flank, 2 from spawn side. Complexity set up for this retake.
Shiro has to find that. Shiro has to find it. He doesn't.
What a shot from floppy. That's EliGE to step up next. He's got one onto Hobbit. Perfecto's position known. Has to be a double swing. Utility going to make him a little bit nervous. Smoke blocks off his vision. Does he have the lineup in the open? Now they know. Continued spray, out of bullets, and Grim has got it covered. The Glock is not going to do the job, and Complexity get the last of the half. 9-6. Cloud9 showed up late, and will it be enough to take us to overpass? We'll find out soon.
Katie nails the shot. 3 kills from the captain.
Playoffs potentially right around the corner for Complexity. Just 7 rounds away from a map 2 victory, sealing an 2-0 win over Cloud9 if they can do it. But a late resurgence puts Cloud9 right back into contention. And we're going to get underway with the second half of the teams switch sides.
I can see the 12 teams who are locked in. I think it's 12. Let me read through these here.
I can see who we forgot.
Who have we forgotten?
Well, 9Z definitely did not.
No, they're on there. They're next to Fnatic. Na'Vi, ENCE, Astralis, Fnatic, 9Z, Big, Movi, Astralis, Monty, Vitality, Furia, FaZe.
I think we missed Monty in the original.
Yeah,
Monty we missed it for sure.
Oh, that's...
Shiro missed Grim as well.
We were talking about the teams.
Mouse make it?
I don't see why Shiro rushed down that ramp, but it looks silly. It looks silly, and it might get piled upon. Electronic, the last one remaining, tries to track, can't do it.
It's happening.
Oh, God. Complexity just have a read all across the map and just completely obliterate Cloud9 in the pistol.
Did Mouse not make it? Am I crazy? Who did Mouse lose to?
Maybe they don't have a mouse magnet.
You can figure it out on your own. I actually...
No, they did make it. They beat MIBR.
Maybe it's just not up there yet.
No, maybe, yeah. Maybe it's missing. Maybe Mouse, maybe Sabrina.
Well, the issue that we have is that we have 2 Astralis. I can see it from here. That's why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
We have 2 Astralis logos. That's why you're all confused.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so we're missing a Mouse. That's all right, because afterwards we're going to get the winning team to grade as per difficulty level the 12 teams in the playoffs that they might have to face against.
Oh, I like that.
What do you think the difficulty level of Shiro's game is so far?
Yeah, it's
Because getting from worse to
absolute worst. Wait till we get to the first garden round. This kid, he is not going to make
right
sure
there with you. The problem
that
is...
I have to spin that bloody forfeit wheel, Matthew. He's going to make sure that I'm safe from 50 nuggets or any of the madness.
I'm going to fight for you not to eat 50 nuggets.
Thank you. I'll fight for you not to sleep on the floor of a tent.
Oh, I won't do that anyway, so...
I think when we're in our 30s, like, sleeping on the floor, can't do it anymore. Like, I used to sleep on the floor of airports all the time when I was in my late 20s, traveling around the world, not having a home. I would do it all the time. I'd be in airports, like, I'd be in Changi, I'd be everywhere, just sleeping on the floor like an absolute hobo, having a great time.
Tent's not as bad as you think, Chad. It's going to be fine. You throw, like, a little...
You sleep on the floor then, Jason.
Yeah, you do it.
I don't mind that one. I want to stay away from the cream pie.
I'll do that.
I'd like to.
I have no issues.
I'd like to avoid getting hit in the face.
Jason, you remember when I went down as a sacrificial lamb to take Carmack out of the equation?
Yeah, I do.
Take me with him.
That was a great moment.
Take me with him.
Sacrifice me.
Sacrifice me. And we ruined his favorite jeans.
We did ruin his favorite jeans.
Get wrecked.
You know, some things have to happen.
For the good of the show, he did almost bring down a 10-ton screen on everyone's head and ruin the entire thing. Which
would have been somewhat entertaining in a way.
Yeah, in a way. We would have died. It would have been very entertaining. Well, here we go. Cloud9, potentially last-ditch attempt for them. It's going to be quite aggressive over towards A main just for control. It will force out the smoke early, and I would say that is job done. If Axile...
Is he crossing that? Is he crossing that? Really? Axile is doing this?
Oh, straight into Grim, who gets an upgrade, and now he's going to stretch his legs. Liberty's to be taken. A spam down range. Electronic. That might be the most impressive piece he's had all series.
That's an impressive control of spray.
And I think Complexity is a bit flabbergasted by that dual kill.
You can't even. Oh.
Man, Shiro can't catch a breath.
Floppy's been having a very, very good series.
Oh no, Hobbit goes down.
Now.
It's swung back in the other direction. One of the last vestiges of hope is Electronic jumping up towards B lane. He's going to see the utility, but doesn't want to mess with it. Does he come through and challenge this smoke? Because EliGE ain't looking.
He's getting booked.
Free kill. But now the position of both Cloud9 players are known to Floppy and JT. One in cave. They know one is somewhere around cube. Oh, they challenge. Electronic never expected it. And there's time. There's time for them to bail out, but Floppy is on fire.
That's a 3-2-2 where they're from. That's what they call it. I've seen some of those thrown around before. That is a round.
That's a sick round for Floppy.
Yeah, look, the guy is not missing. I know I keep calling out his eco frags, but he's been having great guns, right? And we spoke about the confidence. I remember early, Matthew. Remember when he got that ace when they all pushed A main and you were talking about the confidence? And it sets a player. It feels good at the time. Before he had that ace, he only had 3 kills. And then from there, it's been all about can't stop the bloody flop.
And you have to praise the quick thought process here from Complexity as well. As soon as Electronic catches EliGE, they immediately push him into cave. Speaking of catching, it's Axile and Electronic here in half a buy being put on the bench immediately in round number 19. Complexity now 4 rounds away from a berth into the playoffs, as adding another one to the tally is JT.
And if
How is Cloud9 coming back in this?
I don't know, and they're definitely looking nowhere near as gnarly as I had initially hoped with this team. But just for some reason, it's not quite clicking into place. And Shiro being on 2 frags still definitely assists that issue. A second timeout will be called by Cloud9 here, and this will be the last-ditch attempt to plug the holes in this sinking ship.
Because there's a ton.
Yeah, if you drop down towards this mid-bracket, I think the biggest issue that you face is not the fact that you have to then plug through the mid-bracket, is always that risk of that one matchup that if you lose, it throws you to the Sunday where you have to play 2 games.
I know.
That's the biggest issue of the mid-bracket.
Very uncomfortable to be in.
So Cloud9, you want to avoid that fate if humanly possible. But this is a great looking complexity. I want to make sure that we highlight that.
But we have to.
Thought Jason would be a little bit more over the moon here today.
What's that about?
Singing the national anthem.
Very good Counter-Strike.
I'm loving it.
Yes.
I'm just remaining unbiased for the broadcast.
Don't be unbiased. Nobody likes that.
Okay. Well, this is great. Obviously, like the Eagles are out in full force.
In the grand scheme of things, listen, I'm ready to give Cloud9 a little bit of time, but I have to admit, this is much lower or below what I had expected. Really.
Yeah.
And it's just the floor has to be a little higher when you have a lineup of that quality from coast to coast. I mean, I can appreciate it takes a little bit of time to find your system, but
not
still.
Again, bud. Oh,
I like that. Just he's like, you know what? It ain't there. It ain't there. I'm backing away. Axile goes down in middle. EliGE dinked off, so he's gonna do the same.
Did they hear the AWP in A main? Because if they did, they should start getting a move on in towards B. Because Axile, the A defender, dead. If Shiro's AWP was heard A main, they should have an idea where he resides.
They heard him run away. I don't know if they heard him scope.
So it may not have
full ammo.
So may not have identified completely that it was the AWP player.
Well, Cloud9's gone for some mid-round mid-aggression. That's where they've put a majority of their resources with Perfecto and Electronic in this position, which means the bomb sites themselves are very weakly defended.
The face-it points are back. We did it.
The face-it points are here. They have arrived. Smoke down at B ramp. Hobbit's going to challenge. Oh, Floppy didn't see him somehow. Doesn't matter. Grim's got it. And now this little mid-lurk. Oh, timing. Timing is everything, and EliGE has
him up. Chatty called the taxi. It's time.
I'll tell you what. Guess who Cloud9 plays next in that mid bracket?
Goodbye.
I don't know.
Lin Vision?
Liquid.
Oh.
Liquid.
Well, look, they're having to deal with all the North American foes, aren't they?
This is wild. For as much as you said this Cloud9 roster hasn't come together, gnarly was the word you used.
Gnarly.
The power that we expect out of it hasn't been seen.
I mean, I'm dejected right now.
On the other side of it, for complexity, this team has come together very, very nicely. Where, like, you could see the idea, but didn't necessarily think it would hit that peak, but they're getting it in their 2 games here in Group D.
This is a Yikers performance from Shiro.
Yes, it is.
That's what they call him. He's definitely not having a good day at the office on map number 2. Map number 1, right? Remember, it was the 4th round of the game. He got the double swing clutch where they lined up for him.
18-5 at the end of the first half, I think, on Anubis.
So how many kills? Let's check how many he finished with on Anubis, and then we can work out how many kills he's had.
20, 22, 23 probably.
So you said he had 18 in the first half.
Yeah, I believe so.
So then 5 in the second, and then since then we've had 1.5 of Counter-Strike played again. So he's only had 3 kills on top of that. Yeah. So he's had 8 kills since the first half of Anubis, is what you're saying, Jason.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal at all.
No. Electronic getting committed. That smoke is leaving a huge gap. If the flash isn't perfect, the timing is good for Electronic, not able to capitalize on it. It's a little bit of real estate being taken from the defensive side, but where does that get them?
I wonder how much pressure they were feeling coming into the second half, because remember how this half opened was very gambly. The pistol round was that Shiro solo pushdown to B ramp where he gets picked off, and the first gun round is Axile pushing the smoke at the B bomb site, or at the A bomb site, excuse me. Just
very committed approach.
Yeah, it's just very much this either works or it doesn't.
No.
It either works or it doesn't.
And a 5-7
like
Axile. It's all on you, buddy.
We either win or we lose.
Wise man once told me winning and losing is just, it's 50-50.
Hard to argue with the facts. Well, they have a man advantage in towards B. Perfecto cannot get anything done. Floppy will not stop the onslaught here today. 18-8, more pressure, but this time Electronic will find him. Still a man to the good for this retake, but time against them now as hallzerk will lop off another head. The bomb. Now 30 seconds remaining on this, as coming in for the retake is Hobbit. There's no defuse kit in play, and the AWP of Shiro pinned towards cave. Not the optimal weapon for the job, and just getting peeled apart. This B split perfect. Ashiro gives it an attempt. That's 15 locked in, and we hear the roar from Complexity. They are about to make Cloud9 look foolish.
What do Cloud9 need in order to confirm a round? They had everything that could possibly be up to them. They have a 2-for-1 trade towards middle. They have Perfecto in an off angle. He gets absolutely destroyed by Floppy. They have Shiro in cave with the AWP. The smoke blooms before him. Electronic finds the planter, or the planter after he's done it. What else they need?
They need Floppy to disconnect from the server.
5 kills in a round is a good place
they would
to
need
start.
5.
Yeah, if they could get
or
5
defuse.
kills.
They can defuse.
A defuse would be good as well. Right now, like Yanko yesterday, they might need to seek help because hallzerk has found the opener and essentially what may be the closer. That's Shiro dead again. He's going to finish this with only 5 kills to his name.
This is hurtful.
Floppy opened this series and he doesn't care what any other team thinks at all. He's really showing a high level off the back of those words. hallzerk going to clear everything slowly just off the mark. EliGE, though, snaps over. Could have almost had 2. But he's thinned things out in Donut and over towards the B-bomb site. Complexity adjusts, but so does the defense.
If Floppy just walks up the ramp again and lops another couple of heads, why the hell not? Had more than enough success doing it game through, and Perfecto is the man who he will have to waltz past once more. Smokes should be fading here as Hobbit.
We're crossing smokes again.
Yeah, this is really bit Cloud9. Back
We
a
have
couple
to do
of
that
times.
once
Grim at
again.
the
We have to
ready
give away the kills
cave.
again in these smokes.
And now it's just Perfecto pinned in towards cave. They know where he is. Floppy happens once more. Straight in between the eyes, and Perfecto, time and time again, destroyed at the hands of Floppy.
He don't miss. Just peek. You've got the hot hand. Just go.
You can't lose.
Just go for it.
You haven't lost a duel in about an hour.
Alcohol will lose this to time anyway.
Come on to the dark side, Floppy. You know you want to.
Swing it. Get him. Book him.
Bang! There it is. What a way to end it. Floppy with a great performance across the whole series, and Complexity qualified to the playoffs in emphatic fashion. 2-0 over Cloud9.
A 13th team locked in, and if you're going to get that level of performance from Floppy, knowing what hallzerk can do, knowing what EliGE can do, knowing what Grim can do, you